connected.
We connected. We thank the Lord.
Amen.
All right.
Thank Him.
All right. I want to thank you all for coming to the podcast today. Y'all probably not on yet, and
Bam, bam,
because
bam,
it just
bam,
started,
bam. Y'all just wait, but it's coming.
we don't got that. We can't afford that yet.
Oh, it's coming.
We
So
don't.
we
It's
We
working on
don't.
coming.
We
we
don't
working on
have that. Yeah, we working on it, but you
Oh,
know,
we
okay.
in the works.
Curb on curb.
Curbing our
On curb.
curbing.
On curbing. We in the works. On curb.
Ooh, not you got the little box mush. Where you get that from?
Don't worry about it. Just know the Lord is working with the sinners, winners, and beginners over here. Okay?
Amen. We want to thank all the
Hallelujah.
sinners, winners, and the
I like that.
beginners for beating us. I don't know. It just came off the dome one day, because you randomly
Yeah.
have random thoughts.
But that's what they there for. The Lord dropped it in your spirit. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank y'all for coming to our second episode, um, where we have our special guests. We
Woo!
have Marquita,
Hey y'all.
longtime
Yes.
friend, truthist,
Yeah.
truthologist.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
Okay,
spirit of truth.
the spirit
Something
of
like that.
truth.
Yes.
And we
Come on,
also
spirit of
have
truth.
our good friend Patrick.
What's going on, y'all?
What's
What's
up,
up?
Yes.
Pat?
What's happening?
Patty.
Yes.
We do. Um, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Give us your name, where you're from, what you do now,
All
and
that jazz.
all the great things. All the
Mhm.
great things.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll go
First, ladies
first.
first. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Patty.
Of course.
My name is Marquita Holt. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. My degree was in biology, minor in chemistry. I currently work in quality control and food science.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah. You better
fan-
control the quality of our food.
Come on now. We
Yes.
need that. We need that. Come on
Hmm.
now. All right, man. Well, hey, my name is Patrick Carrington. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I reside in Kentucky now, and I work for
Yeah.
the state of Kentucky. Yeah, so that's what I do.
All
Mm.
right. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes. Yes. And we are your hostess with the mostest, good old Monique and Dee, back with another Righteous meets Ratchet. All right. So we are coming to y'all with our working in faith episode, okay? Because we all know why we love the Lord. We also know that some people can get these hands at work, okay?
Mm.
But we thank the Lord for delivering us each and every day, okay? He's giving us good grace and mercy, okay? But we're just gonna keep it super casual, super cool, just kind of get into the day in the life of, what you guys go through, what are some hardships, what are some things that you might kind of, I guess, how do you beat the odds of conflict in the workplace and still trying to, you know, stay heavenly minded in hellbound situations, if I can say that, you
I mean,
know.
the politically correct answer for me to be is to be like every time I'm confronted with something, I'll just say a prayer. But honestly,
Mm,
I don't know that many prayers by heart, and that would be take like 2 rounds before I lay hands on people and be fired. So no.
fair,
I mean, be
fair.
like that.
Understandable.
It
Um,
really be like that.
I will say
Hmm.
that it is sometimes you get that frustration a lot in corporate America. It's just weird and awkward, and especially just depending on where you work and what's the climate. Um,
Hmm.
so it can be trying and taxing, but a lot of the times it's really just staying uh who you are authentically. It is just knowing who you are will prevent people to try to shake your foundation or shake who you or change your approach. People come at you sideways all the time. Sometimes I do take a little pause.
Facts. Oh,
Um,
time out. Let me
Let me see
talk to
who you
Jesus over
talking to.
here real quick.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Make sure
Um,
it's me.
okay, it's me.
You
It's
know
to me.
what?
And
Mm,
then you gotta, sometimes think about your approach. I am very much into sometimes uh certain people only get they get a delayed response because I need to collect myself. I'm never gonna
mhm.
like I know everything or I can just, turn off the other side of my brain. Um, but also, sometimes it's a great lesson to learn that some people don't deserve an answer.
Oh, facts.
It be like that a
Facts.
lot.
Um,
Facts.
because sometimes they're just searching, trying to antagonize or, trying to create a narrative. So sometimes you don't deserve it. You don't deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Mm-hmm.
I quick to CC and BCC somebody else in there. If you
Yes,
don't,
you better BCC.
I hope
Mm-hmm.
this email finds you before I do.
Well, that. Well, that.
No, but for real, you got to
That's
be
real.
politically correct.
At the end, bless your heart.
Your whole part, okay? Bless your whole body and have several feet.
Sometimes.
Because if I write bless your heart, it really means go to hell.
Yeah, dang. Hey, that's
Heavenly
and
minded on
me
hell bent
right there. I'm telling you.
situations.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
So let me know, Pat. What is a moment, time, instance where you have been in a hellbound situation, but you had to stay heavenly minded?
Hmm. Hmm. Man, I can think of a time where it was at a previous job that I had where
Mm-hmm.
my manager wasn't very considerate, and
Mm.
was a tad bit she could be a little rude at times,
Yeah,
um
we don't like them. Mm-mm.
man, but I'm not one to really believe in coincidence a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that God can use situations to make us better, make us stronger, right? So the difficult part of that was um, being patient through the
Mm.
quote unquote storm, continuing to have to go into that environment and just kind of deal with the difficult person. But I ended up getting a new job, so
Oh,
God provided
we
a way
thank the
out of
Lord.
the situation. And I like to think that my patience throughout the situation uh, was an example for others to be able to maneuver through a similar circumstance. If we act like the
Mm-hmm.
world, and respond in a worldly way, then that's not allowing other people to see the example that Christ is for us as Christians, right? So
Facts.
it can be challenging, don't get me wrong, but I think staying in the Word regularly, making sure that you maintain that relationship with God, listening to sermons, things of that nature can help us to be able to weather those trials and those storms, and be
Mm-hmm.
the best example that we can be.
I'll give you that. But I see Keita, she got a rebuttal over here.
I don't. I'm
Sure.
so happy and I'm so proud that you had that calm and that patience. It was a lesson of patience, in which I'm working on my patience. Because the first thing I
Fair.
would have thought is Jesus flipped that table over in that temple, and that would have been the first thing I thought.
That he did. No, no, come on now. You in the book. You ain't
And
lying.
the Lord
He
also sends
did
people
flip
to
it
hell,
over.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lord also sends people to hell.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, hey,
You
People,
can't be
yeah,
condemned.
Pat has a
You
unfortunately.
can't
lot
be condemned.
of patience. I don't. I will get up and walk away and go make me some breakfast because a lot of stuff I do with it be too early in the morning, and
Mm,
be like, I'm going to get a bagel.
make
Yep.
that and some coffee real
Yep.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. A little pick me up.
Yeah.
For
It'd
sure.
be like that. Sometimes you just need a mental break, and sometimes, while patience is great, there are times when patience wears thin,
Mm,
because we are human,
absolutely.
so we all have that breaking point, no matter how close we are to God, no matter how much you stay in your word, no matter how much you could be the holiest of holy saints, and still there's something that will get on your nerve to the point where you got to tell Susan, all right,
Right.
like you said, let this email find you before I do.
Come
Okay.
on now.
But needless to say, though, it's still a work in progress. I will never say that just because I'm saved, that means I know it all or I got it all.
Right.
We will forever be works in progress. There is no perfect person whatsoever. So just knowing and being able to carry that fact, to say, okay, God, listen, get them before I do,
Hey.
because you don't want me to handle it. Okay, that song said, "Try Jesus,
At
not
all.
me," because
What?
I throw hands. Okay. I will throw hands eventually. Now I might end up in HR, but that's okay. That just means the Lord is making a better way for me to go somewhere else. Amen.
Come on now.
That's just me. That's just me. But that's one of my icebreaker kind of questions, because I know we've all kind of dealt with some things in the workplace, especially being of color. It's being in the workplace, especially in higher demanding job fields. You can kind of get a little bit of those criticisms or those colloquialisms that are stigmas, that are there that people kind of portray and not knowingly portray, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So for I like to say ignorantly racist.
Hmm.
Like you
Microaggressions.
don't know. Huh?
Microaggressions.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, good old microaggressions. So
Mm-hmm.
trying to hold my mule, as they say, and trying to hold on to that little piece of sanity that I have, knowing good and well that I need to give you a tongue lashing from today to next Sunday. It can be difficult,
You know,
it can be difficult. But
sometimes you gotta go
hmm,
to your boss and be like, "You
yeah.
better get her before I do," and let them handle it so you don't end up fired.
No, but for real, because I've had moments like that where, and I'm glad we were able to resolve them the way we did. But there was a certain time where I was just like, okay, I'm to the point where I'm tears mad. Everybody has that breaking point where you're like, you're not even sad, but you so frustrated that your body don't know what to do but cry. And it's
Hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
like you boohoo weeping, but it's like your body don't know what to do with all this emotion. And that's where I was at that point, because I had been called out of my name. I had been degraded and all kinds of stuff, and then called crazy. That was the last thing she said was, "You're just crazy." Who you talk to? I'm at the workplace. I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I'm told, and I'm just relaying what I was told to do to you, and I get called crazy. Okay, Lord, like I love you, but I'm about to show my tail in here because I tried it. I tried it. I tried to be merciful. I tried to be patient. I tried all my little fruits of the spirit. Okay. I had a whole fruit basket full for a good 2 weeks. And after that 2 week marker, I was like, yeah,
I said,
threw the hat
Damo
up just like
said,
the man on the river. It's
Mm-hmm.
over. Like,
You know
it's up.
what?
What we
Damo
doing?
said, "Oh, I be hot."
Mm-hmm.
No, but for real. Like, man. And we appreciate y'all in the comments, man. If y'all have any questions for our lovely guest or my
Yeah,
co-host, please just, hit type them in there. Let us know
we are
anything you guys want to ask.
monitoring right now, so
Most definitely. We are talking about working in faith, being in the workplace, and still trying to be heavily minded, but also know that you're human, and
hmm
letting people know that it is okay not to be perfect. It is okay, whatever God you serve or whatever religion you adhere to or you adapt to, do the best you can within that. We're not here to tell you right from wrong. We're not here to tell you, you have to believe this way. These are just our personal beliefs, and just letting people know that, the millennial age, the generation, what is it? What's after us? And
Evolution.
Z,
Z and
Yeah.
Alpha.
And alpha.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, they are alpha
Yeah.
now. Oh, child, that's
So my child's in Alpha, and you all want to know something funny? I don't know. This just kind of a segue, but talking about church in general, I was listening to someone talk about how the church is so focused on trying to get millennials back into church, right?
mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: we just named 3 generations, right? Millennials was the what is it, mid '80s to like 90,
I think
96, I would say.
96.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 96, right? So that means that millennials are about 40. So most millennials by now have had kids or have been married or some way, shape, or form, right? Not all, but most. So that's one generation. Then they have their generation. And now you're dealing with Generation Alpha, which is my daughter, who will eventually go to school with kids who have 2 mommies, who are getting invited to birthday parties with kids who have 2 mommies, getting invited to, places where they had two fathers, different things like that. And the church is so focused on trying to get millennials back. But the thing is, how are you combating what we see in everyday work life, what we see in everyday home life with the doctrine that we were taught when we were kids?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't line up.
Yeah. But also, step one, the reason why a lot of millennials left is because we've been beat. We've been beat by church. Okay. I
Yep.
learned. I didn't learn that you didn't have to do a 13-hour shift at church until I was about 16. I didn't
Boy,
know that
man,
you didn't have to go to
God.
church from sun up to sundown. Like I didn't know that. Jesus, I didn't know that the Lord had third shift. I didn't know that. And I
Two to
really
Yeah,
thought
three
that was normal.
services a week, not getting
yeah.
paid
Baby,
nothing.
I will
You
be.
got two
I was in
different
church
rehearsals,
like
Bible
down on
studies,
my luck,
revival,
back against
backwards
the
against the wind.
wind.
All I
No, but
wanted
for
was some
real.
fries. Just give me some food.
Listen, Fish Fry Fridays with the revivals.
It's right.
You had Thursday night rehearsal, Tuesday night Bible study. You had Wednesday night young people's meeting. You had
Drill
it
team,
all. Don't let it be
young
VBS
people
week.
choir, regular choir.
Yes,
Choir
all
I
of
rehearsal.
that.
I didn't know.
Angel choir, like you couldn't even say words yet, but you was in the angel choir. Help me understand.
I don't even understand. Like I didn't even want to be in drill team. I know good and well I can't. Why do y'all make me do this
Why do we
every?
have drill team in church? Help
I'm
me
so
understand.
bad.
Where did that come from? Does
Y'all want me
anybody
to
know that
be showing my
origin?
body, but y'all got me up here.
They
I don't want
marking
to do
for
this.
the Lord. That's
I'm
all I can tell you. Oh, we
so
lost
like,
Keita.
how did we get there? Like, how do we get to drill team? Like, all the way, like, we stepping for the Lord. Like,
Well,
I,
Yeah.
you're there. Okay, there you go.
yeah.
But we literally full blown drill team for the Lord, like boots and all. Like, we in the army of the Lord. But I'm pretty sure they wasn't out here doing steps and beating their chest and drill teaming. I don't, I haven't read that part in the Bible
It was a
personally.
joyful noise. It was a joyful noise. That's what it
I,
was.
I guess, but some of them noises don't always sound that joyful.
They
Mm-mm.
looked at one Sister Act movie and said, "Let's do it."
Exactly.
They said, "Screw it." That
Exactly.
man, joyful, joyful. Okay, like I don't want to do this. I just want to come, go home, go to sleep, watch my show, and
Yeah.
get ready for school the next day, which I don't get paid for either.
Exactly.
Nope, not at all.
Very
Not
upset
at
about
all.
it every time. They're like, Keita, you got to do drill team. Why do I have to do drill team? I don't want to do this.
That's the thing. It was always you have to do something. And it's like I never understood, like I understand being a part of church. And I understand, because the word says, um, to find and do whatever your hands are able to do within the church. So, it doesn't mean you got to do everything, but whatever your hands find to do, you know, go for it. So my thing is this: if my hands didn't find it to do, why am I doing it? I didn't say I wanted to sing in the choir. Why am I doing this? I didn't say I wanted to do drill team. Why am I doing this? I didn't say I wanted to be on junior usher board. Why am I doing this? And I think that's where the millennial mindset is like, church was shoved down my throat to the point where I'm over it, And then on top of that, it's like the ones who still love church are still like, oh, I miss old school church. You can't get that back because old school church never handed us the opportunities to be able to do what we were supposed to do to carry on the torch. They didn't trust it to us, even though they forced church down our throat. So then you're like, okay, the next generation is supposed to be here, but you look at most churches, the next generation is us, and we ain't in there. So it's like, what do you do? That's why your churches are dying off. I've always said this: if you have no youth in your church will die. It's just flat out. You don't have anybody to carry it on, and you didn't trust them to carry it on when they were there underneath you for those who wanted to be there.
Right.
So you have that generation who is out, we can call it the scorned generation, right? The
Mhm.
scorned generation is having kids. Those kids are now unchurched. And then those kids are having kids who are now also unchurched. So you're dealing with two and a half generations worth of unchurched kids, and you still trying to focus on millennials. Y'all three generations behind.
And it's also, it's never, like you said, old church. It's never going to be the same. Everything has to change and evolve. And I know people don't like change. But
Mm-hmm.
y'all gonna have to give up because pretty soon I'm gonna be in Sunday school teaching everybody like, okay, this is what happened. Okay. And then the Lord,
Fact.
he over there, and the Lord gave David this rock, and he went mink to Goliath, mink, 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 and that's
Amen.
okay. And you cannot get mad at me when I teach the Bible like that because you weren't there either. You don't know what the noise made either. But in my mind, mink, mink, mink.
He said, "Minga, minga, boom." And he was
Hmm
Right.
out with them 5
He
stones.
did. He took his shirt off. He swung it around his head like a helicopter, like Petey Pablo,
Yeah.
hitting him in
Oh,
the head.
Look,
not
So that's how
Petey.
it's gonna be in my Sunday school.
she done took it back.
She
Exactly.
said
Back,
Petey
back.
Listen,
Pablo.
Petey Pablo. He said,
Mm,
"Who am I,
e-
David?" Like,
Exactly. I They ain't gonna know the difference.
Yeah.
They gonna know the story. Exactly.
they will know it. They will know a version, but they will know
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. When the
They
wall of
will know
Jericho came down, he was like, "I bust your windows out your wall," and they jumped.
it.
And that's how it's gonna go.
Listen,
Yo,
it came down after 7. It came down.
Man.
Hmm
It did. I mean, but that's how you got to reach them these days, though. To be honest,
Yeah.
that's how you got to reach them these days. You got to use things. I've always found that at the youth pastor, you got to use things that they know and coincide it with what the word is for them. You know what I mean? Because I can't give them the Sunday school lessons I was taught, and they think it makes sense. No, I got to use Fortnite and PS5 and Xbox to make things make sense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'll never forget. I taught the story of the two women that was fighting over the baby,
hmm
and I think it was in Judges or something like that. But the two women, though, they both fell asleep or whatever. They both had their baby. The one
And
lady's
then
baby died in the middle of the
try
night,
to
so
steal that
she
baby,
stole the other woman's
and
baby.
then he was like,
Yeah,
"Let's fillet this. Let's do the baby like a fillet of fish."
yep. Cut it in half,
And
and the real mother was like, "No, don't do that. Just let her have the baby. Just me knowing that the baby grew up and is safe. I rather that than you cut the baby, right?"
Right.
So, in order to make this story make sense to them, I had to use an Xbox because I had
the
young.
baby
They were all
Xbox.
under 12, huh?
Uh-huh.
So they was all under 12, right? And the majority of boys was in the class. So I said, "What if? Okay, what if you had an Xbox and your friend had an Xbox, right? You broke your Xbox, right? But you asked your friend, hey, can I borrow your Xbox? Because my parents bought me a new game. They don't know I broke mine, kind of, I played a
Hmm.
situation like that, right? And so it came time where the parents had found out, like, oh, where did this Xbox come from? Yours is different, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, this one's mine. And now you and your friend fighting over whose Xbox it is, and just kind of breaking the story down to them like that, to using things that they know. They're like, oh, I don't want him to cut the Xbox. No, like we need that to work. I'd rather my friend have his Xbox back and I can go and play at his house than for y'all to just, take the Xbox from both of us. No, like, you know what I mean? So finding something in their lane to bring the story to life for them is where we're at these days. You can't just sit there and tell me, yeah, these two women, they had babies out of wedlock, and one lady, she rode over her baby and smothered it and it died, and the other lady had a baby and she stole it and that's what happened. They're like, huh? What do you mean? So why didn't she, like, literally one of the questions, why didn't she just adopt another one? And you
mm,
looking like, okay, while that makes sense, that's not the story. You
right.
know what I mean? So I get where you coming from. That's a good question. Adoption could be an option, but I don't know if they was doing adoption back in Bible days. I don't know. So I got to meet them where they're at. So
Hmm.
knowing that, we have to somehow, for the unchurched and for the church, to figure out a way to bring those three generational gaps together and not just focus on this one generation that's been scorned that you want to come back to church so bad. It's not how it's gonna work. But that's just my opinion. But I just thought that was a cool little scenario that she had brought up, talking about those different generations and how being able to work with them is, we're so far behind the 8 ball. and especially with how dogmatic pastors can be and bishops can be and different things like that. And, just trying to get them to understand maybe y'all should take some classes on, sexuality and, just gender identification and different things like that, just to kind of say, okay, that's what this means. Now, how do I build a faith around what y'all are giving me? You know what I mean? How do I build a word to say, okay, this is what you can go out and combat with? Because I know you're living in that everyday life of this quote unquote sin, as most would portray it to be. You know what I mean? And to each his own. But at the same time, if you want people to come into your church, you have to give them a faith that they can believe, but also combat with in the real world. And that's just one thing I think we're missing right now, personally.
I think
Understandable.
a really good point. And also, I feel like we can't be frustrated with people having questions. I feel like a lot of times people get very frustrated. Um, so um, I, used to ask a lot of questions as a child. I got very
Hmm.
um, and I remember, you know, uh, wardrobe. We used to always come up like, oh, the way you should dress and all this stuff to be in faith. But
Can't have your shoulders out. Can't
but
show.
why
Yeah.
need for wearing pants? Jesus was up there rocking a robe. So should we all be wearing
No, you can't. I'm not allowed to wear moo to church because
robes?
y'all have something to say about that.
Why are you wearing pants?
Mm.
I'm just saying.
What?
Um, you know,
Just saying.
so it's very much those questions get a lot and very much they tend to frustrate people, but also they can turn some.
Mhm.
I have a valid question. Amen.
Right. Valid question with valid answers and responses. But we
Yep.
appreciate y'all. Y'all are in here with the Righteous Meets Ratchet podcast. We got the co-host Monique. We got our special guests Marquita and Patrick in the building. The host with the
Mm.
most is D. We are here talking about working in faith and just talking about just the everyday life's ups and downs. How do you, portray not only your your faith, but also, get through the day and not, be ready to cut somebody's head off. Because, we might, you never know. Like we say, try Jesus, not me, because we
Yep.
throw hands. Okay.
Yep. While we have y'all in here, like, share, like our
Most definitely.
pages. Okay.
Most definitely. Like, share,
All that
follow
good
Right.
stuff.
our guests. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
our guest is how Marquita Hope, Patrick Carrington. Pretty sure I tagged them in a post on our page. They're
Hmm.
there. Um, and we just want to say thank you to the center winners and beginners that have joined us today. We appreciate you.
Yes. Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely. I got a game though,
Oh Lord.
to break up the monotony, you know. Just have fun, you gotta be a little righteous. We've been a little ratchet, but we could be a little righteous too. But it's a simple game. If you've ever I know y'all be on social media and y'all see something say Old Testament, New Testament, and then you see the book of the Bible pop up in the middle, and then you gotta pick what side it's on.
Okay.
Have
Yeah,
y'all ever seen that?
I'm familiar
Okay.
with that.
No, I'm about to say I don't think that pop up on my that ain't on my
It's
timeline, but
not.
I
Listen,
believe
I
you.
got a
It's out
righteous
there.
timeline. I got a
Uh-huh.
little bit of a righteous
I
timeline.
was
Y'all
about to
just
say
gotta
it's
see.
real. It's very righteous. I ain't seen that one yet. That's a new one for me,
Listen, I
baby.
run the church pages. I run our Righteous Meets
Mm,
Ratchet podcast page with Monique.
yeah.
I help
Mm,
with a couple other church media platforms. So a lot of
mm,
church content
mhm.
come through my little social medias. And
And
I just think
we love that.
this is we do we love it. We
Mm,
love it for all the
mhm.
sinners, winners, and beginners because I get to bring it to y'all. Okay. But the way this game goes, well, the way I've seen it played was people are standing in the middle of the aisle at church, right? And it's a whole bunch of them, and it's a game between all of them. And one side will say Old Testament, and one side will be New Testament, right? And so if I said Genesis, and you think it's in the Old Testament, you would say Old Testament, or you would step over to that line, right? And
Mhm.
then if you thought it was New Testament, you step over to the New Testament, right? I could say Amos, right? You can step over to old or new, right? You get a point for every book you get right.
Okay.
Fair?
That's fair.
Mhm.
I
We
like
only
it.
gonna do five. We only
Mhm.
gonna do
I was
five.
about to say how many of these?
No, we only gonna do 5. I'm not gonna do y'all real dirty like that. That's just wrong.
Bombardment.
Good.
Y'all ready?
Let's
All
do it.
right. So, let's see. How can we make this fair? How can we make this fair? Okay, we'll do one at a time. We'll do one at a time. You want to do one at a time, or should we do them both at a time? You just hold up a one or a two. What do you think, Mo?
Let's do a one or a two.
Okay, okay. So one will be Old Testament, new would be number 2.
Okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be
Yeah,
trying to look at each other for the answers either, because y'all don't know who right and who wrong.
I got
Okay.
you. I
You gonna
got
get plead the fifth every time.
Not plead the fifth.
Deception,
Not plead the fifth.
discredit.
I'm dead. All right. So the first one I'm gonna throw out there, First Kings. First Kings. Is it the Old Testament or the New Testament? Yep. Old Testament. Okay. All right. We out here 1-1. 1-1. Okay.
you. We doing
All
what
right.
it
I'm
do.
gonna put my little score down. Put my score down. You know what I'm saying? We got 1-1.
Swear down.
We got my
You feel me?
score. Mm-hmm. All right. We ready?
Let's do
Proverbs. The book of Proverbs. Oh,
Oh,
got 2-2.
they
Okay.
speedy with it. Look at
Oh, they
them
said,
fast. Gonzalez.
it. On it. You feel
said
me?
Gonzalez.
Shout
Okay.
out my grandfather, District Elder Roy R. Holt.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, District Elder.
And
Yes. Judges.
They playing in the chat. Y'all playing in
16
the chat.
The
Okay.
hour shifts.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
y'all playing in the
hold
chat?
on.
Let me know in the chat what you got.
I'm gonna
Judges.
add them on the
The book
screen.
of
Let's
Judges.
see.
Book of Judges. Yes, yes. We got them. We got them. We got them. We 3-3. We 3-3. I'm gonna throw y'all off though. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I
Talking
got
about
y'all.
don't even worry about it. Oh
Got
boy.
y'all.
See
Y'all
what you got.
ready? Y'all ready?
Mhm.
Let's do it.
Limitations.
Say it again.
Limitations. Lamentations is actually in the Old Testament.
Mm.
Old Testament.
Pat been reading.
Right after Jeremiah.
Pat
A
been
lot of
Right after
church.
good
reading.
old Jeremiah.
A lot of church.
You been church? How many years have you been in church, Pat?
Man, since a kid. Crazy.
Since then.
Since a kid. So early,
You was
early.
doing them Easter speeches.
Man, what? All that. The play, all
Talking
that
about
stuff.
Easter speeches.
Artists,
Yo.
the whole
Yes, good old Easter speeches.
church league, all that. Yeah, man.
Yes. Yeah. What
That's
song did they have you leading?
oh no, church league. So like hooping and
Oh,
stuff like that,
Oh,
and yeah, man.
I
got you. Okay.
he was a lock-in kid.
Yeah. Yep, done a
Mhm.
few of those as well. Done a few of those.
I wasn't locking
Little
in
righteous,
nowhere.
little ratchetness in there as well. But we're gonna keep that off the. We're gonna
Mhm.
keep that off the string. Keep that off the
I was
No,
string.
you
locked
ain't gotta
in
keep it
at
up the screen. We
home.
here for it. We righteous meets and the ratchets. It's okay.
I was under the
All right.
blanket in my bed. Not no. You gonna leave? Where am I supposed to sleep? On the pew? Where you want me
Mhm.
on the floor? A bean bag? Sleeping bag? I'm at home
Sleeping
with it.
bags like a mother. Hell yeah, sleeping bags.
Mhm.
That was
All
fun when
right.
you were though. You know
All
all
right.
that.
One more.
One more, one
One
more.
more.
Let's do it.
First Timothy.
That's two.
First Timothy.
That's two right there
First Timothy. It's 2. That's the New Testament.
for sure.
It's the New Testament. Y'all did good though. Round of applause. Round of applause. Y'all did real good. Y'all did real good. Y'all did real good. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud. I'm proud. So yeah, see that's it. Harmless little game, right? Harmless little game.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
easy,
Ain't nothing.
There was
Ain't
the
nothing too strenuous.
crazy. You know?
Tell me something. What is your favorite version of the Bible? So you got the NIV, you got the King James version, amplified. How do we feel? Do we like the these and the thous and the those? Is it more so of a straightforward and she said and then and that's what happened? Like what version do we prefer?
You want to go first, Keita?
You go ahead.
Go ahead. Man, you know, I really used to read the NIV version a lot. I thought it like made things a little bit more clear because you didn't have
Uh-huh.
all, thou and these and things of that nature. But recently I read that when it comes to the actual text, and this is just what I've seen, that the
Mhm.
KJV, the King James version, is actually a little bit closer to the actual Greek
Yes.
that that the word was written in. So I'm kind of trying to get back to the KJV, but
Mhm.
it's hard, man. It's hard, like getting your mind to go back to all the these and the thous and
See, I
like,
love the these and the thous. It feels
like
like
that.
that's really Sky Daddy was saying. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
it
Man, what?
feels
Mm-hmm.
like when the bush burnt, it was like, hello,
It burnt.
it
Oh,
burnt.
It was burning.
Let me tell you what is about to happen. I feel like it's easier for me to tell the story in my head.
yeah.
Um,
Mm,
it
mm,
felt real
mm.
official, and like all the these and the thous and the extra little enhancers, it feel
It
like
felt
that.
real royal, like it felt real. Just
Yeah, that it helps.
hmm
It's dramatic, and I'm there for the
very
theatrical.
much so.
He's with it.
Very much so. The Bible's probably one of the most theatrical books I've ever read in my life.
It
Mm.
felt like the angel came down with a bunch of eyes and all this stuff. It was real. I don't,
Yeah.
because sometimes when it's just too plain, then I think the angel's a person, and I know he's really not a person. And then
hmm
what kind of sweatpants was he wearing? And then I off
She
track.
said, sweatpants. And what? Them great values. That's what it was in Walmart. Great value
Some
sweatpants.
great
Um,
value grays.
Great
no,
value grades. You know about it.
The Lord,
Bruh, it can't even be Gap. Like you went
no, the
straight
Lord
to
came down
like
with the Nike fit. Okay,
They work.
Nike, Adidas,
They work.
something
the
He didn't
Nike
like
even have the Adidas
the
stripes, the
top
three.
slides.
He didn't have the three for the
that's
Adidas.
wild.
Man, what?
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And he ain't had the three for them.
Nah.
The Lord,
She
just
getting
do
deep
it,
on y'all boys.
just do it.
She
Just
getting
do it.
deep,
The
boy.
socks
He said, just do it.
Man, what?
and the
Said
slide
true.
also match.
Dog, what?
Like
Y'all are too much,
my
bro.
daddy had a sponsorship.
With the
Oh,
slides,
Corinne.
yo.
Bro, if the Lord had his own athletic wear, what would it be? Put it in the comments. I need to know. Who do you think the Lord would rock? Would he rock Just Do It? Would he be an
Mm.
Adidas fan?
Boy.
Would he be a Reebok?
I see. Oh
Because
no,
Reebok trying to come back in style.
nah,
We out
nah.
here.
Nike's my
I
second
can't
one
give him the
would be
Reebok.
he gotta have a nice pair of shell toes.
Yep.
She's saying the
I'll feel
Adidas.
you on that.
I say.
But I would say I really feel like Nike because he wear a nice fresh pair of Air Forces, and
Mm.
then and then Satan and them got the black ones on.
We got what we got in the
But
chat. We
see,
got Nike Tech.
We got
I
Nike
We
feel
got
like
Tech.
if the
Adidas or
Lord,
Jordan.
We got
if
Jordan.
he came in with the Nike though, I feel like the Lord went down to hell and took the keys in the black horses though,
No,
for sure.
Screw it.
Hey,
We going Fruit of the
I
Loom
feel
at
like he
this
was on
point.
business in black horses
Nah.
that day.
We just gonna go Fruit of the Loom and keep it real clean
okay.
and go from there. Cause bruh, nah.
Now you
Jesus.
make it seem like the Lord came down and hit the dun the duns.
Oh, they got Fruit of the Loom
They do got
sweatpants
some
and
little
stuff.
sweat though.
They
They do. They
do.
they they the
They
cotton
do.
boys. They the
And
hand.
then
They be 100%
now
cotton, but
you
they
make
there.
my Lord a hoochie daddy coming down with his dun dun and then
man,
And
what?
say the
I don't
Lord was a
The Lord
hoochie.
ain't
No,
coming down in his
ma'am.
shorts.
Come on, bruh.
The Lord ain't ever showed his knees to nobody
what
except on the cross.
Just show his
I'm about to
knees.
say he had a lot of legs showing on Calvary.
Oh,
Listen,
come on.
that's what I said. Except on the cross, that's the only time he done showed his knees to somebody. Other than that, he ain't ever been
Mm,
no knee
mm.
showing person, as
I'm
far as
just
I know.
My goodness.
I'm just saying.
Y'all cutting
Listen,
up.
even when he went
Yes, he
fishing, he
was
ain't showed no
Y'all
knees.
cutting up.
because he was washing a lot of feet and stuff like that. He was been that
He
sending up,
was, but
letting them.
the robe was covering.
Mm,
The
Hey.
robe was there.
mm-mm.
I said, I don't know.
When they washed his
Let's
feet with the
see.
king, got a
Let me
little.
see.
They got a little show of the ankle.
Somebody, oh, I was about to say
I
Avery
was gonna
hit
say
us with
comments going
everybody in
crazy.
heaven wearing Nike track suits.
Exactly.
And
Mess around. Mess around.
Charles talk about some
Sundresses
he
and
showed
Nike
his
track.
knees in Revelation.
Charles in that word, right? Charles in
He
that
showed
word,
him in
boy.
Revelations.
Charles in the
The
commentary
Gloria
on that boy.
Hallelujah version.
He own it.
And Nike track suits
My boy
and
know that
sundresses.
word. You know what?
I'm about to
I
reel
can't.
y'all back in.
Bring
We
it back, Mo. Bring
reel
it back.
back in.
Do
Okay,
the
all
righteous.
right.
Bring
We
it back.
we
Bring
getting
it
back
back.
to
We
working
need
and
that
Much,
balance.
away
much.
and
We need
away
that
from the
balance.
knees of of Jesus.
I,
So
that,
My
let's
Lord and Savior prayed on them knees real hard. Okay, them was holy knees.
I'm
You
just saying,
know.
grab the hem of his garment. She seen him.
Listen. Okay. Even
she
the
didn't
him was
say
by
she
the knees.
grabbed the knuckle of his knee. She
She
said
grabbed
to him in his
the hem of
garment.
his
But
garment,
the him, it was
his ankle,
close. It was
his
close. There was
Hmm.
enough oil on them knees that touched the hem of his garment that touched
Char-
her in her face.
Charles talking
Made
about
her
some
whole.
knees like brass. That's how we know he black.
exactly.
I hate it here. I
That was
hate it.
that was real
Yes.
moisturized.
I do
They
say
was
here.
going.
Anyway, back in. All right, I'm gonna hit y'all with this one. So
What's up?
let's see.
Smell
You
like
at work,
and
right?
cocoa butter.
Listen, they had to smash the nuts themselves back in the day.
Calm down. You calm it down. All right, we hit you with this. You at
You're going
work,
crazy.
and it's been one of them days. They didn't piss you off. What is your go to for when you have got to that level, which you there is no more hanging on the cliff. You jumped off. What are you then doing to bring yourself back in so that you not going off on everybody and losing your job?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm gonna leave. Goodbye. I
Hey,
I will. I
See,
will remove myself from the day. Like y'all know what? Goodbye. Goodbye.
You are
hmm.
the weakest link.
I'm gonna leave. That's what I'm gonna do. Um, because yeah, I'm gonna leave, or I'm gonna flip tables on the temple. So I'm gonna leave. Goodbye. We'll try this again tomorrow.
Fair.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll think of maybe a new approach, but this is as my adult life. The last couple of years, um, baby, I will pack up myself and leave for the day. Goodbye.
Hmm. I'm proud. I'm proud because I know Akita back in the day
Yeah.
that would stand flat footed.
Exactly.
man,
10
what?
That
toes
would be flat
Yeah,
footed. So I'm proud.
10 toes.
10 toes.
Hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
what?
I'm about to say, what about
Man,
you, Pat?
nah, I think that was the perfect response, man. Just like remove yourself from the
We gonna
So I
situation.
got to
leave
go
it.
to.
You feel me? Yeah, before something chaotic happens. Yeah, I
Mhm.
follow. I follow that mindset. I'm with it.
I'm
Yes.
about to say, I think Keita did a great answer. I
Facts.
don't quite do that one. I stay logged in, but I will pick days that I will randomly start requesting off because if I'm pissed off that day, I'm gonna take my days back and
Reclaim
relax on
your
those
time.
days.
Reclaim your time.
I will.
Reclaiming my time.
Man,
Reclaiming my
Classic.
time.
I'm about to
Classic.
say, let
Hmm.
me see if we got a couple comments. I don't know if y'all can see this on the side. We just gonna put them on the side.
It says the new comments will show up, so you got to leave the comments up there so we
Ah,
can see them as they roll.
I'm about to say, Christina said, "Baby, back in the day, Keita was
Exactly.
scared."
What?
Back in the day, I was Simon. If you don't know who Simon is, I was cutting off ears, baby. I would just be like, okay, let's cut these
This
ears
Jesus
off.
take the wheel for me.
Exactly. I not Jesus take the wheel. It was not Keita the spirit of truth. It was Keita the with the sword of vengeance, baby. Let's go. Let's take it too far. Let's
The
jump off
sword of vengeance.
together. If I got to go, you got to go too.
Y'all funny. Y'all funny.
Jamel talking about she had me shook back in the day.
Man, what?
I
Man.
know that girl. She is still in there, but I feel like at this point, if you make her come out, you this with your you've intention because I've walked away. But
Hmm.
if you make her come out, I hope you're ready for 3 days. This
Mm.
storm gonna
No
rain.
It's for
limit
2 days.
shoulders.
Man, what? Man, what?
It's no limit for me.
Exactly.
Quavo going crazy.
Yo,
Did.
the K State alumni here, man. They showing love. What's
Man.
shout out to the K State?
Appreciate y'all,
Love
man.
y'all
Shout out to the
guys.
K State alum.
Thank
Shout
you.
out.
Right. Again, we
But I
appreciate
think
y'all
y'all
all
had
for
some great
checking in.
answers, man. Definitely leave it for the day or reclaim your time. Me personally, I never really had enough time to reclaim
Mm.
just because my job was so new. So I would find either so I would call myself going to find something to be busy about. So I would just disappear from the unit.
Mm.
And I would
Mm.
go to somebody else's unit or I would just disappear altogether and just be on the other side of the hospital. So that would be my biggest escape, would just get out of the environment in general. You can't say I'm not working because I'm still at work. I just found work to do elsewhere.
Right.
And just kind of escape the whole situation in general. So whether you pack up and leave for the day, reclaim your time, take you some off days, or just go somewhere else in general. Just get out of the situation altogether. All of those I think are great, great scenarios and great answers to kind of reel yourself back in, you know,
Mm.
Facts.
for sure. For sure.
All right, I got another one for y'all. Y'all ready?
Hmm.
What's up?
Hit me with greatest, your greatest email clackback. Ha ha, boy,
All right.
The greatest email clapback.
your greatest. And if you can't think of your greatest, think of a good one that you would hit someone with.
I am. I would say like per my last email, but I'm really not a per my last email kind of person. I am. Please see these attachments of all
Mm-hmm.
of the either of what you've stated, me previously giving you that same answer, or me answering that question, or the full conversation. So I'm very much a email keeper. Please see
Mm-hmm.
the attachment. Here's
Mm-hmm.
the email trail. Please let me know where the disconnect is.
Facts.
Mm,
Comment saying per my last email immediately shows
Man,
somebody did not read your email
okay.
whatsoever.
mm.
I'll be hating that. Don't send me an email thread of a question I answered 6 months ago and you still asking the same question at the bottom of this email thread. Because what I'm not going to do, I'm going to go back through this thread and forward you the same message out this email thread that I answered this question with. Because
Yes.
why am I repeating myself?
Also, I am a highlighter, so I will highlight what I said.
She with it.
Hmm.
She with it. I'll mess with it.
Exactly.
I'll mess with it.
I stated in
I
the
get
last
that.
email
Yes.
with the CC of the supervisor. Most definitely.
Oh,
Most
yeah,
definitely.
you
Like,
gotta, that
you're not
supervisor
getting me in
boy.
trouble asking these questions.
Facts.
CC whoever you want. I'm a BCC HR on top of this because you're not going.
Also, I work in, food safety, so I also like to end it with, um, legally, we are obligated, or legally, we cannot. So if you would like to proceed outside the lines of the law, I will no longer be involved.
Hey, there you go.
Go to jail if you want to.
Facts.
I'm about to say, what you hitting them with, Pat?
Man, I don't. Y'all got me thinking, man. Hold on. I don't know. For real, for real.
Talk about some.
Um.
Hold up.
Pat ain't never had to tell nobody to get in their lane in the email.
Now I got you. I got you. I got you.
What's up?
So, at one of my previous jobs, I used to send out these announcements in Black History Month, kind of highlighting different prominent African Americans, right?
Hmm.
And these would go out like across the state. And I had this one guy who was Caucasian. He replied back to an email I sent about this judge that had faced discrimination in Kentucky. He had went to a
Hmm.
school or whatever, and he was denied like getting into the school because of his skin. So this is all like easily like found information. Like you can Google the dude's name. I can't remember his name, but you can Google it and find all this. So I sent out the article, whatever, and I had a guy respond back to me, this gentleman, and he was like, I kind of find it hard to believe that there was a point in time where said law school, and I don't want to say the law school or whatever, wasn't accepting African Americans, into school or whatever. And I immediately went and found the link to the article that I had taken
Hmm.
and put it in the actual what's the name. And I was like, well, if you look at this X, Y, and Z, and then his whole energy changed. He responded back, "Oh, hey man, I love these emails that you send. Crazy how this happened back in the day. Keep sending me
Hmm.
information I didn't know." I was like, "Man, dude, what was that energy initially?" You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? So,
Facts.
sometimes the best way you can respond is just hit them with facts. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I.e., per my previous email.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He thought he
Hmm.
had somebody
Crazy.
that day. He said,
Yo,
mm,
crazy. So, but yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
That's light. That's light.
man. Say my ultimate pet peeve is somebody misspelling my name when it's in the signature.
Ooh,
Ah, that's so
ooh.
horrible.
That's tough.
God,
That's
And
tough.
in
Facts.
corporate world,
That's
I hate
tough.
that.
man.
It's very common, and I have a friend, a good friend of mine, and she has a very distinct name as well, and she shortened her name for work purposes,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and so she allows her coworkers to call her a nickname. And we got a debate about that. Absolutely not. You cannot. Kita doesn't exist in the corporate world. Marquita does.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's no nickname over here. Uh, every time you respond to me, you're going to learn this name. It's not going to be hard for you to say. You're not going to call me Margaret or anything like that. My name's Marquita.
No, my
Uh,
name is my name.
and
Nice.
also, if you could say Bach and Tchaikovsky and all of these other names, you can say
Right.
Marquita. So no, no, thank you. No,
Mhm.
no, 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 thank you. Say my name. Say my name. Uh, it's not lost in the emails. It's saved
Man.
in email. It's my name.
Facts. Because you didn't have a hard time finding it, CC me on this email, so I'm pretty sure you'd say it.
Keep it a
Exactly.
buck.
For real.
Keep it a buck.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Oh,
Says
Christina
if
gave a
we
good one too.
Hmm.
I say
if
if
we
we
could
could
review my
review.
job duties and responsibilities, and you could show me where this particular duty or assignment is in alignment with that, I will gladly perform that duty.
Mm.
Nothing like people using the
Mm,
underlying title of anything and everything within the job requirements of your skill set. Excuse me, my skill set is my skill set. That is not the job description. Because if that was the case, I'd work for myself. But your job
right.
description and what I told you my skills are two totally different things. So for you to try to give me
For real.
something to do and it's not within these 8 or 9 bullet points that you said was my job, baby, did we revise my job description? Am I getting more money?
I will.
Is there a raise? Is there an incentive? What happened?
I will.
Did I miss
I will.
anything?
Mm,
I have gotten to this year. I will direct you to the proper department. This is not a function of my department. Please, I'll CC this department in the email, and maybe they can help you with this request.
no,
Facts.
for real.
Goodbye.
But for
Mm-mm.
real.
Y'all,
Man.
Chris fooling, bro. Did y'all see her last comment? Y'all, she was
What?
fooling.
Baby, why can
Oh
white
my
people
god.
name over 500 breeds of dogs but mix up two completely different black folks that run the. Oh,
Oh
She
god.
Mm.
fooling. She
Uh,
fooling, bro.
Righteous is
hey.
meeting Ratchet
Swear.
tonight. We love it here.
I
Yes.
love y'all. This is
Y'all
great.
going crazy.
God.
Yes.
Man.
Pay me what I weigh.
Exactly.
No, but
Love
for
it.
real.
Man. I will say I've been doing one the last month and it came accidentally. Like I didn't do it on purpose, but now I know this gonna piss the masses off. When I will type out an email, giving the description, giving the info. If we need to schedule a time to meet up so I can explain this further, please let me know. Baby, they be boy the steam. You would think I
Man,
told them they mama got scoliosis. Like
Be upset.
for
Okay.
real.
Heard about it. Hurt. Just
Mhm.
distraught. Pure and utter distraught. Mm-mm.
Like no
But those
reason.
be some of my favorite emails, though, honestly. When you know you in the right
Mm.
and you
mm,
know they trying to pull the wool over your eyes and you just be like, did you really just CC so-and-so? Like, I don't know how to do my job. Or when they hit you with the, is there anything we can help support you in completing this task? Yes. Take on the task yourself because this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. That
I'm
would
sorry.
help me.
Exactly.
Yes. That's why I'm
right.
like, this is not a function of my department.
Mm-mm.
No,
Not
no.
a,
Goodness gracious.
that's a good one, though. That's a good one.
It's a real
For
good one.
sure.
Oh, now this question is gonna kind of flip us in a different direction. How do you share your faith in a non-aggressive way? Because we can't always be as religious as we want to in the workplace, just because of certain cultural differences and certain discriminations and HR gets involved and all these things. So like say if somebody's going through a hard day, you know, you can hit them with the verse of weeping may endure for a night, but joy come, right? But is that too invasive on someone? You know that that might help them, but at the same time, is that the proper time and place to give them that? Or if you could tell somebody just needs a word of encouragement, or somebody asks you to pray with them, is the workplace the proper place to do that? Or is that a setup? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
I feel
Yeah.
like it's just being authentic of who you are. So
Mm.
it's how it comes off. I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like everybody has their. I mean, there's always been portrayed of what it looks like to be someone of faith. Uh, like me, take me for instance. I'm a very aggressive person, or I can come off as. But I mean, if I'm gonna speak about God, I'm gonna speak about God. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I mean, not fit into the uh super safe archetype, and I don't want to. Um, but if I'm talking to you and you're going through something, and I quote a scripture, it may be like, "Oh, did you say that?" And I did, and it's right, whatever. But it's gonna be just
Yeah.
like when I'm teaching my Sunday class with the mink, mink, mink with the rock, and this is what it's gonna be. So
Right.
it's
Mm-hmm.
just if it's authentically who you are, I mean, it's gonna come out regardless. If you
Yeah.
are a more faith driven person that quotes scriptures and prays, then that if that's who you are every day of the week, then that's that. It's
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think as long as you don't completely flip on a dime, it's authentic.
I give
Let
you
it
that.
be authentically who you are. I'm
I
from
Fact.
give
the
you
south
that.
side of heaven, so it's gonna be a little ratchet. It's okay.
You know what?
Hey, we are from the South Side of Heaven right here on Righteous Meets Ratchet. We appreciate y'all for being in the comments, being in the
Man.
place with the faces that are to be with Marquita and Patrick and my co-host Monique. We appreciate y'all, man. But Pat, what is your intake on all of this?
Yo, I couldn't have said that better myself. I think Kita is spot on. I think if you're being authentic, then it allows for, or God will allow for an opportunity to present itself. I just saw what Alex put in a comment, and I think that's so spot on. He said, by addressing the need, I feel like if God opens a door, use the opportunity, but not forcing it. And I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like when you're just kind of getting into to Christ and things of that nature, you can have this zeal and want to be aggressive, right? You want to just tell everybody, and all that stuff like
Yeah,
that. And I understand that, but ultimately, I think we do a lot of that by once again being an example. How we carry ourselves. What's the old expression, y'all? A lot of people are more likely to see what you're doing as opposed to hearing you talk about it, right? Because
yeah,
your speaks for yourself louder than your words do in many cases.
yeah.
So you want to be a good example, and just being authentic. God will allow that opportunity when it's right. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just
True.
my
Yep.
I feel you on that because we are a lot of times we're the only Bible people see. You know,
facts. There it is, facts.
so it definitely does play a huge factor, whether you're on the job place or just, just out and about, different things like that. So totally get that. God does present those opportunities. Um, I will say there has been times where, I've been asked, pulled into an office or whatever the case may be, like, hey D, I know you're a woman of faith, I know that you guys pastor and different things like that, but like this is going on in my life and we might be different, but can you just pray with me?
Mm,
And those moments, I cherish those moments because they're sacred to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I never want to put anybody out of sorts, and I never want to make anybody feel like they can't ask for prayer. Especially if they know and see how your life is portrayed. I always want to be able to open that door and that opportunity for someone. Um, but it can be hard too because being in the workplace, certain things there it's just not allowed. Or I won't say not allowed, but they're frowned upon. Or they feel like you're trying to solicitate some type of something on someone. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
trying to know those fine lines and seeing those barriers definitely plays a factor for me at least.
sure.
Yeah, I agree with
Sure.
that. I
What's
mean,
going
I
on,
know.
Stanford?
Oh, hey,
I'm
Brian.
looking at comments.
No, you good. I mean, I know me personally. I'm a I, Keita is more of a Bible thrower, scripture thrower than I am for sure. And I'm a, if the discernment says that I need to do something for a person or I need to bring up Jesus, then I'll bring up Jesus. Most of the time, if anything happens, my thoughts are with you. If you need me, I'm here to do that.
Mhm.
And then, with my job, it's just a lot of people do talk about Jesus. They do have it in the booklet, but I've been lucky, just to be around individuals that were, very faith based. Even if there weren't some people that were faith based, it was a neutral environment. And at my old job, even like during lunch, they had a mini Bible study outside. They're like, hey, we know everybody don't believe Jesus, but hey, if you want to meet us outside, we're at the picnic table. So, I really tread lightly when it comes to work. Like I said, if that discernment or if something in me says I need to go up to that person, you need to talk to them a certain way, then I will go ahead and do what's needed to be done. But other than
Yeah,
that, I try to keep it neutral for work because, you know, and I think somebody said in the comments, with millennials and everybody else, they have that hurt that don't throw Jesus on me. And I even got some cousins like that. Like I had
yeah,
one cousin, she had something happen. She was like, "Don't pray for me. I don't want your prayers." Okay,
Mm.
and that's fine. Well, my
hmm
thoughts will be with you, and I will respect your boundaries and all of that. So yeah.
hmm I feel that. I feel that. Mm, I think we kind of hit on my questions for today.
Oh yeah.
We've had some good ones
Okay,
though.
in the comments, what do you think in this cup? Water or wine? Here you go. Go. Go.
Well, dang.
I don't have time for the shenanigans tonight.
I
Jesus.
don't know. That might be
My
one of
cup.
them.
What's in my cup is in my cup. Jesus did it again.
I don't
Say
know.
again.
I hate
Bucket
it
said
here.
wine. I don't
I
know. That
hate
looks
it
like one
here.
of those cups that change colors
That's
with how
funny.
cold your drink is. It could be water. I don't know.
And
Wine, liquor.
Nelly said liquor. Heck
Girl, we
yeah.
already know.
They ain't even wine. That's the Patron. That's goddamn.
We are gonna say water for the
Goddamn.
sake of this show and leave it
What's
at
it worth?
that. And
It could be a
amen.
miracle.
Did she
I
say
Because
cookie
believe in
I
miracle?
don't
miracles.
have time tonight.
We just don't say Marquita
Jesus,
just left
look
the
at
wedding.
you.
And we'll leave it at that. Marquita just left the wedding, y'all. We'll just leave it at
Man,
that.
nuts.
Exactly.
She went to the wedding.
She got Welch's cranberry juice in that cup.
It's the
Cause we
first of the
are
month.
this
It's
that's
communion.
what's we that's where
It's
we at
That's
with
right.
this.
communion.
Communion is every first Sunday. So,
Hmm.
hey, we here for it. She
The
just started
Lord
communion a
walked
little
past
early.
me in his Nike sweatsuit and blessed my cup with his alabaster ankles.
Yeah, I feel
Pearl
like
said it may be water, but Keita, did you turn it into wine? Question mark.
the
Anointed.
pearl cutting up.
Deception, disgrace. Golly.
Listen, this is Righteous Meets Ratchet, man. Here with your hostess with the mostest, D and Monique. We thank our special guests, Patrick and Marquita, for being in the place to be. We
Man.
thank all the sinners, winners, and beginners in the comments. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us tonight, man. Catch us every other Saturday at 7 p.m. Right here on your local favorite podcast, Righteous Meets Ratchet. But hey, if y'all have any ideas, comments, y'all want to
Shout
be
out
on
to
an
Sky Dad,
episode,
Sky Daddy.
let us know. Let us
Hey,
know.
Jesus
you
is
need
Man.
to
the
tag Nat.
Like
You
way.
need to tag
like you
Nat.
said, sliding the
That's a
DMs real
t-shirt.
quick. If you want to be on a
Facts.
future episode, let us know that as
Slide
well.
they DMs.
Let us
Yeah,
know.
sliding the
Appreciate
DMs for
y'all.
sure.
Slide
Sliding
in
the
the reroute pod
DMs
DMs.
on some. I have information. Don't be on the other stuff. We don't need all
No,
them, none of that other
you will
y'all.
get reported.
Yeah, for
Slide they
real.
DMs.
I
You will get
blocked
reported.
real
Holla,
fast.
holla, la, la,
Okay,
la, la, la,
we
la.
yeah.
Let me
Sky
holla at you.
Daddy will hear about you.
No, ain't no hot any none of that. Yeah, Sky Daddy watching.
Mm-hmm.
Chill out.
He will hear about you. Okay,
Okay.
in my
If you
prayers, and
haven't
he
already,
answers those all the time.
follow us on Facebook. Right now it's called RIRA Pod. it'll have
Reride
in
pod.
parentheses. It'll say
Reride pod.
Righteous Meets Ratchet Podcast. Follow that page. If you're on Instagram, we on there too. Righteous Meets Ratchet Podcast, and we also are starting up a YouTube page. Righteous
Tap in
Meets
with us. Tap
Ratchet
in. Tap in.
Podcast. So we starting off all that jazz. It's still young. We getting there. I'm winging it.
We gonna do it. You know,
Same
it
winging
is
it.
what it is. It's a podcast of the righteous meeting the righteous for all of y'all. Okay, and just to let y'all know that hey, it's okay to be struggling in faith. All right, it's okay to not know where you are in your walk with God. You know, we're not
Man,
here to tell you how to do it. We're not here to tell you you can't or cannot. We just here to say, hey, we out here and we struggling too, and
We
that's
win
all.
it too.
Keep it a
We
buck.
we we in it.
Proven and
Okay,
proven.
sinners, winners, and beginners. Nelly, we gonna need our shirts and our hats real
oh
soon.
yeah,
Okay?
gotta get the
I need
Merch.
my paraphernalia.
Gotta
Okay,
okay.
get, gotta
I
get the
need
My
that.
merch.
sister, my
Facts. Gotta get the
sister
merch.
get with the cups. Get my sister get the cups real
Yeah,
quick.
Nelly
Water,
Bailey, she in the
water
All the
cups
comments.
coming
merchandise,
soon.
all that.
Water cups.
Ah,
Please end the
We love y'all,
podcast.
man.
Proven
ah,
and proven for
Don't mess with
Jesus.
you. Don't mess with you. That's
We
hilarious.
love y'all, man. We gonna catch y'all. Give us
man.
2 weeks. We gonna
Guy
catch
had his
y'all next
sweatpants
Saturday.
Yeah,
soon.
catch us next Saturday after this Saturday, which is
That's
I don't know what the
hilarious.
date is because I ain't got my calendar. We got
Sundress
That's
appeal.
all
episode
right. Just count you two
episode number
Saturdays. You
3.
see us again.
It's called Pregnant with Promises. Catch us next
Yeah.
time. I need you to tap in for real.
Mary, the world's famous baby mama.
Oh,
I'm taking hot takes at the end of the show. Hot takes.
cut it.
Welcome to
Cut
my
it.
Sunday school class.
I
We
can't.
lost the
I can't.
righteous. This is so much more
Yo,
The
ratchet.
angel came down one day. It was Maury.
Not more. Listen, we gotta go.
Then an
We
angel
gotta
came
go.
one
all right,
day,
all
told
These
Jesus
are
right,
to kneel down and
Hey,
pray.
Keto,
until
hilarious.
episode 3, y'all. We love y'all. God bless.
all right.
Peace.
Peace out,
God
y'all.
bless, bro. We out.
Bye.
Bye.